just kind of like shut down, got back to my regular job. And then after a few months of doing that again, I was like, now I see why I was getting into real estate investing. So kind of started getting back into that, and that deal kind of pushed me back into, getting back on all these calls weekly. I believe I found your guys' group through Alex Camacho, his on Wednesday. So yeah. Oh, there he is. Hey, Alex. So
Aloha.
yeah,
I'm in LA
Wednesday.
right now, but I'll be in Hawaii tomorrow. So yeah, welcome.
Yeah, it's hard seeing him on the beach, like swimming with turtles, and I'm sitting here in Marietta. I'm like, it's really hot today. I wish I was over there. So yeah.
Right. Alex does a good job of letting the world know that he's swimming with the turtles too. So
Yeah, exactly.
Who doesn't like turtles?
I love turtles.
Anyways, thanks for putting this on. I really appreciate it. I kind of always just sit in the back and like listen in. So yeah.
oh, that's awesome. Don't just sit in the back and listen in. This is all about all of us jumping in and learning from each other, and that's what's cool is, even though you've been going since November, it's the most exciting part is when you first get started, all that energy and excitement, and positive energy and such. So keep it up, man. If there's anything we can do, let us know. Of course, you got a great friend in Alex, man. That guy's
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
yeah. Well, at least he invited you to his little coffee thing. He never invited us, so you must be a whole different realm.
Yeah, send that invite out, Alex.
We'll do.
That's awesome. That's great.
All right, you guys want to hear a quick stat that me and some of the guys, I think Josh is on, and Aiden and Lohi found was and this is just kind of I would suggest for everyone in their local market to try to pull some data of like how big is your market and your how much market share is realistic to attain. And so in 2019, there were 2,068 properties sold on market that we can account for. And there were about 150 properties that were bought and sold within a year. So that's about 7.2% ratio between the properties that were sold in total and properties that we can kind of assume were flipped, right? Anything bought and sold within 12 months. So believe it or not, 7.2% is above the national average of like 5 point something. So that's in 2019. Now in 2020, and this is just Honolulu County, 132 properties flipped and 2,351 sold. So the ratio is about 5.6, right around the national average there. So when you see numbers like that, I don't know, for me, it's like, man, that's not enough. We need more, especially in markets like Hawaii that's starving for inventory. That tells me, I mean, you can look at it two ways, right? The scarcity minded way where it's like, there's only 150 properties roughly that have been flipped in 1 year amongst all these investors. Like, how am I going to get my share of the pie? Or you can take the abundant mindset and look at it as like, there's so much opportunity. Like there only 150 properties flipped in Honolulu County in a whole year in 2019. It's like the market's wide open, and we need more people to build houses and put inventory on the market to sustain the growth that is happening across the nation pretty much, right? So anyways, just wanted to share those quick kind of cool stats. And if you're in different markets, I'd suggest you kind of do the same to see like how big is your market, right?
That's interesting stuff. Yeah, I'm just curious what folks are thinking about Joe Biden's most recent proposals with the capital gains increase and then the whole 1031 thing. I know there's really smart people, a whole lot smarter than Corey and I. So we figured we might as well pick everybody's brains as you're thinking about the situation and thinking about opportunities. How about we start with Alex? Alex, you got any input on that one? You're always well in tune.
Oh man, I don't like them. I haven't gone through the details of all of them, but I don't know. It just seems like they're going to punish people for doing well. Yeah, I don't have much commentary about it right now, to be honest.
Yeah, no worries. So for those of you who haven't really tuned too much into it because you know that stuff bores you, capital gains tax essentially for those making over $1 million a year is going to basically double 20% to 39.6. And then the 1031, they want to cap it at 500,000. So for those of us who are professional real estate folks and investing all the time, this is something to take note of. They want to target the uber wealthy, but I would suggest that the majority of us that are in real estate are kind of more in the middle, upper middle, and we're not the uber wealthy, but we're going to get hit the hardest. And so I'm just curious, how about Roderick? What do you think about all this?
It's the first I've heard of it. I have not been following Biden, but we'll see.
Might want to take note now, man. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Tell me more. So if you do a 1031 and the money you're trying to transfer is over 500K, you're gonna take a hit.
Basically, it caps your 1031 exchange amount at 500. So basically, that means that instead of wanting to roll larger assets, those of us with larger assets are going to want to just hold it, because I mean, if you're going to make $1 million and you can only basically wipe 500,000 tax free, then the other 500,000 you're paying 39%, 40%, and so therefore it just doesn't make sense to sell. So then all of a sudden now, my opinion is that there's going to be less inventory hitting the market. People will take lines of equity to get the lines out to go buy other things, which then I think can work contra to what we're hoping to see in the real estate market, which is a lot of basically velocity of turnover. So it'll be pretty interesting. Matt just posted a link, so that's awesome. How about Chris Walkendorf? What do you think? I know you're very, very, you're always following this stuff. So you're the first one I thought of when I was listening to all that as well.
Well, I'm definitely not the super wealthy, so it's not going to affect me. I am watching it, but yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know how the government can operate running in a deficit, so I think something needs to be done. So, and I think I pay enough taxes as it is, so.
Yeah, we all pay enough taxes as it is. At least we feel that way, right? Don't you get real estate professional status, Chris?
Yep.
Okay, so you're able to.
So, but I owe so much money. Yeah, it's all about. I am asset rich, but I am penny poor.
Yeah, equity rich, cash poor. Basically, every entrepreneur.
I know.
I wanted to chime in and just add something to that. I saw it's like a bunch of people blowing up on Facebook groups about it when it first posted, and someone blatantly posted, said like 90% of you are complaining and it's not going to affect you, and someone below that, because they're not in the right tax bracket or whatever. So someone below that said, if it's going to affect the rich, they're always going to find a way to trickle it down to you. So that was a scary thing to read, because I'm like, oh, cool, it's not going to affect me. Hopefully it will affect me one day I'm in that bracket. But when someone posted that, they said, like, it's going to trickle down and it's going to affect the poor people, always affect the lower brackets. So seeing that really brought it to light. Everyone should be looking at it, not just the people that are in that bracket, so.
Oh, that's excellent. That's a great contribution. And I think that is super important. And it brings us to a awareness that we should be involved as real estate investors, and we should stay pretty conscientious of what's happening with a lot of these proposals. Alexander Young and I sit on a committee with the National Private Investors Group, and we're on the legislative committee. So we're always watching everything that's happening in terms of proposals and things that may impact real estate. And no matter how you cut it, it's going to impact real estate. So it'll be interesting to watch. There are some forums set up where you can provide feedback. So if you start to hear that, we'll try to provide that as well. But I think a piece of this will be to not just sit silent if things start looking like it may ripple effect, impact a lot of us, but to actually have a voice and to share a little bit about our input or our aspect of what we do in real estate. So we'll just keep updated. Anybody else want to share? It's one of the hot topics of the week on the news and social media right now.
I think we'll see a big shift in people buying more single family homes and multifamily homes. That way they can kind of take advantage of like the 1031 exchange on a smaller scale with single family homes. So I think more people will buy single family homes. That way they don't take that hit on the multifamily kind of side. So yeah, I think we'll see a shift there.
I heard that Biden was trying to, he's looking, one of the things on the table too is to change the 1031 not really in our favor either. So we got to keep eyes on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I think he wanted to lengthen the time from like 1 to 2 years or something, and then lessen the I can't remember. I just read it briefly, but lessen the tax incentive.
I mean, you figure the government's got to figure out how to balance some finances here. They keep printing money like crazy, so they got to be starting to figure out how to put some taxation in place to make up some of that. But well, we'll all watch it together. Thanks for posting, Matt, on the link there. And then
why don't we share? I'll just real quick. So last week or maybe a couple weeks ago, we were in Miami for the National Private Lenders Association and the Pitbull Conference, which is a big lending conference. And one of the keynote speaker was John Hornick, who he's our securities attorney, and all the data that he pulled, it shows that actually we're doing very well, and that the Fed, he gave a lot of credit to Jerome Powell and the Fed, because they had a tough job through this. Like I don't know if they have been figuring it out, or if this is kind of just the short-term band-aid, but he was very confident and showed a lot of data that not just the economy, but the housing market as a whole seems to be doing very well, and we should expect this for the next at least couple of years. So we'll see, but it was good news for sure.
Yeah,
you guys want to get started? Or take us in? Okay,
yeah.
well.
Anybody got any good leads or any needs that you got, or anything that's happening in your neck of the world that you want to share with all of us? Good news, bad news, fun news?
Let me jump in. So the one thing on the 1031, I did read it, it's $500,000 of gain per transaction. So if you're making more than $500,000 in that single transaction, yeah, it might be a good time to get a little tax on that. So just a little stipulation, but I do have a huge need. It's kind of sad. I have an uncle. We found out that he's living in a very decrepit situation. He went blind in his 40s. Now he's in his 60s. And so we're looking at doing a total rehab, heavy lift on his house. The roof has been leaking for years. It has major termite damage. So my need is, I need some leads on some good contractors I could pull in to try to cover all the expenses or fix it up. And then I don't know if we're going to take any kind of profit on this, but we're going to try to help him out.
That's awesome. And the house is located where?
Kalihi.
Kalihi. So we're looking for a contractor on the island of Oahu. So
does he own the property, Chris, or?
Yeah, it was his dad's. So it's free and clear.
Nice. So
Chris, I will help you. I'll message you right now with my email.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Roderick.
Yeah. Let's do it. I got some boys that'll help too. You don't have to pay me. I'll come help you.
No, this is a major rehab. I mean, there's no ceilings upstairs because the water's been leaking so long. All the ceilings have fallen in, and it's just.
Well, maybe maybe we can help in some fashion, because our guys aren't that. They're used to that. But
yeah, I reached out to Fuzzy. I haven't been able to get a hold of him to like line them up, but I'm looking for anyone and everyone. Jazz and I are going to flip the bill for the rehab, and then hopefully we'll get him, because he can't live in, it's an 8-bedroom.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
But so it should if it's renovated, it should give them a pretty good check to buy something new. And he's
Yeah.
probably going to move in upstairs with us. So,
Okay.
So Chris, are you looking to fix it and then sell it so you can get some proceeds in order for him to live somewhere else? Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, let us know on even on our hard money side, if you need financing, we'll try to work some rates for you so you can get some finance for rehab, really solid. So absolutely. That's awesome. I love that kind of stuff.
Perfect. Thanks, Chris. And let's maybe I don't know if we have time later or something, we can dive a little bit more into that situation, because like and see where exactly would be the best angle to attack this to help, and because like I said, like we have a lot of smart people, a lot of resources in the room, and I don't think there's a problem too big that we can't solve together, so yeah, if we have time, let's just dive into that situation a little more. Anybody else have anything needs good deeds?
Hi guys, I do. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Sorry,
Tay.
I'm at work. I have to go hide. Hang on.
How to go hide? Well, while she's hiding, just wanted to let everybody know, Corey and I are going to be in Dallas, not next week, but the week after. And we're looking at doing some stuff in Dallas in the future. So if anybody's got any good realtors, wholesalers, most importantly, great barbecue restaurants that you'd recommend in Dallas, would you send that in the chat or let us know? We'd love to kind of meet. And if you're in that market or nearby and you want to hang out with us a couple days, we'd be stoked. And if you're not in that market and you just want to hang out with us, fly in and we'll all hang out. It'll be fun.
Go ahead, Tay.
Okay, so we are closing on a property. We're thinking mid to late May. So it's a short sale. It's been a good 4-month run. We're very close to closing. We just need the approval letter from the lender. So it's a property in Pukalani, 18,000 square feet, one building. We're either going to be doing a flip or we're going to dispose it to another investor who has probably more capability with funds and timeline. The reno is substantial. We're looking at 200K renovations. So we're waiting for the final number that we're going to be acquiring it at on the acquisition side. Reno, you're looking at 200K. Hold time, 3 months. And if you run into permit issues, it could go longer. So we are looking at all of our exit strategies. There's either we keep it and flip it, but because there's potential for CPR and Zasha and I are not the most versed in the CPR situation, we feel like another investor could probably do better because it's such a huge lot. There's room for a driveway and all that. So just kind of putting it out there. It's up country. ARV is 800 as is, or with 2 lots, you're looking at probably 600,000 for each lot if you were to CPR it, and if you have the capacity to go through that whole process.
Got it.
Wanting to putting it in here.
I know a couple of guys that would want that probably. What was the numbers again? You're 800,000?
Yeah, at least 800,000 as is. It's like Pukalani, the nice, well, not the nice area, but nice view. It's up country. It's a pretty desirable area. Not too much movement over there. The recent comps, there's a 2-story that just sold for 900, not renovated, 900,000. Just one building. So we're thinking 800 ARV is very doable for a brand new, flip or build. There, it's a 4-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,200 square foot existing building. Yeah, on an 18,000 square foot lot. So
what's the zoning?
I don't know exactly. We know that for sure you can have another dwelling for sure, and or
And you can
CPR up
CPR?
here. Yeah, you can CPR over there.
Okay.
What's
Is
the
it-
asking price?
Say that again.
What are you dispoing at? What's the price?
Well, either we're gonna dispo it sort of either as a wholesale, or we'll do a double close. It's probably gonna have to be a double close since we're under contract and everything already. And wholesale it out as fast as possible. We're thinking of off the market 600,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I have a couple guys that might be able to do
Yeah.
that.
I did contact Ernesto. We have to kind of get on, like probably a Zoom or something, or get it on a good phone conversation where I can explain in details. But if anyone's interested,
Yeah.
DM or message me or email me.
Did you talk to Greg on Maui?
No, not yet.
Yeah, try shoot him. I don't know if he's on today, but try shoot him a message, because those numbers are a little tight for them, but it's an option in case they're interested in the area, they can throw you some.
Yeah.
What is the sewer? Do you know if it's on septic? 'Cause I know you said
Yeah,
it's
so
on septic.
it is on cesspool right now, and
Oh.
you have to
Upgrade.
get it. That's why the rehab is pretty high. Yeah,
Well,
so it's 30K here to upgrade to septic.
I don't know what it is in Maui County, but Honolulu County for septic, you're limited to 5 bedrooms on the per septic tank, right?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
not too sure what it is here.
okay. Well, we can look at
Good
it.
to know.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tay. Don't work too hard.
Well, Corey, it's almost 1:30. I don't know.
Yeah, let's get cracking.
We should definitely bring in Jeremy if he's ready. I think he's always ready.
Jeremy's always ready.
Jeremy is always ready, and he's like the ultimate hustler. Like, bro, not only are you in real estate in terms of an agent, but you're also an investor. But I just saw that you're also started a Turo. You're going to rent out a car just because there's a shortage of rental cars.
Yeah, man. I mean, when I see there's a supply and demand thing, like, hey, low supply, high demand for it, why not? Let's get into it, So
I was thinking the exact same thing. It's all over the news. There's shortage of rental cars. So, man, that's awesome. How many cars are you throwing into Turo?
So I got one, and I actually convinced my girlfriend to get a new Tesla and then put her old car on Turo. So we're gonna do that as well. And yeah, we'll just see how it goes, because I have a friend here that has like 5 cars on Turo, and each of them is pulling in like $1,200 a month. So I was like, oh, there's some opportunity in this, So
100%, bro. Right now, like everybody I know who's got cars on Turo, they're just cashing it in. And what's nice is that you were able to pass on the damages right to that renter. So I mean, your car's in perfect shape at all times.
Exactly.
So let's all chip in and buy a few Teslas and charge $1,000 a day, man.
Why not?
Right? Jeremy, thanks so much for being on. And I know for us, it's just a pleasure, because you've got such a great story and you're doing so much. Social media has basically been a big part of your background, and now you're taking that to jump into real estate in a lot more ways. And so I'm excited to have you on. Corey, you have anything you want to add?
Yeah. Thanks, Jeremy, for hopping on. Love the content you put out there, and I guess let's start from the beginning. How'd you get started in real estate, really? And also, what made you want to get into or start a channel and put out the content that you have been putting out?
Definitely. Well, yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Corey, and thank you, Kikoa and Justin and all Kiko for having me. Really appreciate you guys having me on here, and I'm super excited. But yeah, I got my real estate license in 2019. My mom is a real estate broker. She's actually on this call too. So thanks, Mom, for encouraging me to do that. So got my license. Originally, I was like, all right, I'm going to, make $100,000, drop out of college. I hated college, but that didn't happen. So I stayed in, and then fast forward, I, graduated, got my economics degree in 2017. And then I joined Locations, and that's where I actually learned the real estate business. And from that point, I was just thinking, okay, you know, I'm just going to be a real estate agent till, you know, I want to retire or whatever. I had no idea about real estate investing and all of that stuff. And then, you know, so as a new agent, I'm trying to look for things. Okay, how can I get my business going? You know, like I really want to go, you know, hit it hard and, you know, be successful. So I was doing everything like cold calling, door knocking, all of that, but I wasn't seeing any success in doing that. And then I made 3 sales in 2018. And, you know, I was like, okay, where did these sales come from? I had to like analyze, and they weren't from cold calling, door knocking, any of the traditional stuff like open house. They came from my friends on social media, which was Instagram. So then I was like, okay, you know, let me put more effort into what is working, which is social media, and let me put less effort into what's not working, which was, you know, cold calling, door knocking, open house. And then sure enough, I started seeing great results, and it was really great. So I went from like selling 3 homes in 2018 to selling 17 homes in 2019. And then 2020, I sold 24 homes, and like the results just, you know, were exponential. So I was like, oh my God, like there's something about social media that, you know, it's working. So I just went all in. I stopped doing everything else, and I stayed true to myself and what works for me. And then come into 2020, you know, COVID happens, and I'm like, okay, I need to adapt and evolve and find out like, how can I do something? And then, so we're all at home. So we're all watching YouTube, you know, there's nothing else to do while we're locked in. So I'm like, oh my God, you know what, let's do it. Like, this is the perfect time. Everyone's at home. There's nothing else to do. So let's make a YouTube channel. So I had no idea what I was doing. And I'm just, you know, literally going to homes, videotaping homes, you know, trying to educate, trying to, you know, show, hey, this is what real estate is in Hawaii. And sure enough, that started exploding too. And it got so crazy where I have clients now from the mainland who've never met me before. I'm helping them buy homes in Oahu. And one of them, I've never met in person before. And she bought a condo sight unseen, and she found me on YouTube. So it's just so crazy, the power of YouTube. And then literally last week, I get an email saying like, oh, Jeremy, I saw your private money, hard money lender video. Hey, if you ever need a private money lender, I'd love to lend to you. You know, I like what you do. You seem trustworthy. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never even met you. They're from South Carolina. And yeah, it's just super random. So there's so much power in social media, you know, just by being out there, educating, and not only, you know, helping your real estate business, but also networking. Because honestly, through social media, I think Zasha's on this call. She's probably like the first real estate investor I've ever met. She like messaged me on Instagram, asking me about real estate. And, you know, she said she was an investor. I'm like, what the hell is an investor? You know, I just sell homes. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then I met Stacy Augustin through Instagram, and she's telling me she's an investor. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to help you. And then sure enough, you know, through social media, the networking that leads from one person to another. That's how I met Alex Camacho, my man over here. And I remember coming into 2021, I'm like, all right, I'm going to start flipping homes. I want to take my real estate business to the next level. And my initial thought was, okay, I need to go to like Vegas or Pennsylvania because everything's so much cheaper. And then Alex, remember we were on a booze cruise and he had like a drink in his hand. He was like, Jeremy, like, bro, don't worry about finding the money. You know, the money is the easiest thing to get, you know, worry about finding the deal. And then I'm like, wow, really? Like, wow. And then that's when I heard about you guys and I found your Instagram. So like everything like I'm discovering is all through social media. Everything I'm learning are from people from social media, and everyone I'm meeting is through social media. So like my whole world revolves around social media, networking, learning, educating. And then sure enough, I had a meeting with Corey and Alex, and you know, it's just crazy. And now like we're all like friends. And I feel like through social media, I'm able to connect with people and, you know, make this sense of camaraderie because everyone's so open, everyone's so nice, everyone's willing to educate and teach. And it's just like, I'm having these connections with people from all around the country, you know, especially like Justin too. I've never met him, but like, we're like homies now, like talking about Patriots all the time. And it's just, you get so much from social media.
It's because nobody else talks about the Patriots except you guys. So.
Hey, not true.
Oh, okay, there's 3 of you. You
They have to live with Mac Jones now, so.
Oh yeah. So, you see how crazy, just meeting one person, just, finding someone on social media can like change your life, because it's just, you never know who you might meet, who you might find, and you never know who might find you, because, it's all open to the world. And that's what I like try to train my team with, and like new real estate agents, all my students. And, coming into 2021, that's exactly how I found my first flip. Like I said, okay, it's January, I'm ready to flip homes now. What do I got to do? So I met hard money lenders. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I got money. So I got to find the deal. And then, so I was like, okay, now I'm starting from scratch. I'm not a new real estate agent anymore. I'm a new real estate investor. So what did I do? I go back to my roots and go on social media. And then I just post on my story, like multiple times a week. Hey, I'm a cash investor, all cash investor. If you know anyone willing to sell their home that's distressed or, vacant, whatever, let me know. And I just kept posting that. And then sure enough, some random person messages me on Instagram. Hey, my aunt is trying to sell her home, but she can't, it's vacant. And I'm like, okay, awesome. And that is now the home that I'm flipping now. And it's just my first one. So for all those watching, like I'm a noob investor. I just started like 4 months ago, but now I'm in this because of social media, because, I went into this because I'm confident, only because of the things I learned from Alex, from Zasha, from Stacy, from Corey, from all you guys, and it's all through social media. So if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have any of this. I wouldn't be here right now. So you guys see the power of it, and not just, putting stuff out there on like for content, but now you can put stuff on YouTube, on TikTok, and you can get paid for that. It's not easy. It's not going to come just like that. But if you're consistent, if you work hard, the same characteristics that you put into your business, just document it all, put it on YouTube. And sure enough, you'll gain a following and start, getting monetized and get paid for YouTube. So that's like I guess, how I operate, how my brain thinks and approaches social media.
That's awesome. So social media for you right now is YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and then anything else?
There's Facebook, and then there's LinkedIn. I don't really go as hard in there. I just post whatever I need to post, because my mindset is, I'm still, even though I'm an investor, I'm still a real estate agent as well. So if I'm posting one thing on Facebook, I post it everywhere else. Because the way I think of it is, each social media platform is like a billboard. When you're driving down the highway, if you see my name one time on Facebook, then you log off, go on Instagram, you see my face again. You see my face on LinkedIn, you see my face on Twitter, you see my face on TikTok. So you're always seeing me. So whenever you are ready to buy or sell, or maybe there's a home that I could flip, the first person you're going to think of is me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So then which of those platforms would you say is your most successful? Would it be YouTube then?
It would be Instagram, and YouTube, because Instagram, I probably sold over 40 homes in the last 2 years. And it was all because of Instagram. Their friends of my clients show their friends my Instagram. So they contact me like literally every single day. I'm getting asked about buying a home. Not all of them are necessarily ready, but it's like a nice, flow of leads. Because before, in the beginning, I was always trying to, lead generate. I'd cold call, I'd be chasing people. And honestly, that sucks. No one likes cold calling, saying, leave me alone, F you, like hang up, But now it's just like leads are coming to me. So I just got to, talk to them, see where they're at. If they're ready now, awesome, we can go. If they're not ready, then I just tell them, hey, you just got to do this. Let's meet back up in 6 months and let me help you out. And now I'm trying to take that system and apply it to real estate investing. So instead of, door knocking and trying to like look through abandoned houses like I did yesterday, now people are messaging me, hey, I got this lead. So it kind of makes everything more efficient and I guess enjoyable.
You said you had 100 leads off of Instagram in the last 2 years that you sold homes, 100 homes.
No, I probably sold like 40 homes,
40
but
homes.
probably almost all of them were because of clients that found me on Instagram.
That's amazing. I mean, if you consider, say, the average commission is say 5,000 for each of those, I mean, that's what, $200,000 right there.
Yeah.
I mean, so for people who are like, oh, social media, it just doesn't seem worth my time. I mean, is it worth $200,000?
Oh yeah.
Right?
And I think this social media gets like a bad rep or a bad stigma, because I always hear people saying, oh yeah, social media is toxic. I need a social media cleanse or social media break. And I think The way I look at it, I love social media. I don't think it's toxic at all. My reply to people who think social media is toxic is that you're following toxic people. So what I tell people is, you know, do a social media cleanse. Stop following the meme pages. Stop following the gossip pages. Start following, you know, people who are doing what you want to do. Follow the home investors. Follow the people that motivate. Follow the people that inspire you. You know, and that's why I like the investor community, because you guys are so, you know, we're all trying to help each other. You know, if I see Alex acquire property, I'm gonna comment. I'm like, yeah, awesome. You know, fire emoji. And we all like hype each other up. And if you have, you know, toxic people that you follow that, you know, maybe they'll like comment stink on your stuff, that's what you're gonna surround yourself with. So just like, you know, when they say surround yourself with good people, that also applies to social media too.
Right. I wanna go back a little bit, because I thought it's a quick, important thing that you did in 2018 or something. I think it's 2018. You sold 3 homes, right?
Yeah.
So like the fact that you stopped and had to think like, all right, where did these leads come from? Like, how did I even get this? Oh, I got it from social media. Somebody referred it to me. And meanwhile, you're being trained by a really respectable, seasoned brokerage, right? And company and locations. Yeah. But times have been changing, you know, and it's been changing really quick. And I feel like on the broker side, that space is being disrupted right now, and it's happening very quickly. You have Zillow, who's, you know, the 10,000 pound gorilla in the corner that everyone doesn't want to look at, you know, like they're coming, you know, the Redfin and all those guys. So that space is changing, and I don't see any movement really in like brokerages like Locations and Coldwell and Century 21 and stuff. So possibly, maybe they are making some changes, but the fact that you stopped and kind of had to process your success for that year and then focus and see where the opportunity is. Like, I think that's a huge tip for everybody. I think we all have to do that. And that's what really brought upon this coffee talk call when COVID started anyways, you know, and we didn't know how many people were going to jump on and want to just talk real estate and entrepreneurship. But even if it was just our own team, it would be fun, great conversation, you know, and the main thing is you want to make sure you're a part of the discussion too, because like I noticed in the NPLA, it's always high level discussions, you know, things I would have never thought about. Like, for example, this past trip, we had one of our guys that was talking about 3D printing and how that may disrupt the construction industry. And it's already happening. Okay. These machines cost like $2 million, right? So it's not that much. And you can build houses in days with this thing. So how is that going to affect the construction industry? And then how is that going to affect the housing market, right? Because there is trickle down effect. But in order for us to even make the move, we have to always constantly analyze and be true to ourselves. And sometimes it's not easy, right? Because you think you're doing well, but when you really stop to think about, you know, your productivity and what you're putting out there to the marketplace, maybe it really isn't that much. Maybe you're thinking too highly of yourself, right? So the fact that you took the time to stop, process, you know, that year and realize, okay, I didn't get one deal cold calling or door knocking, right? So let's scratch that. Let's focus on social media, right? So exactly. You seem like a guy who's an entrepreneur who is always thinking, always on. That's why when we started, right, Kiko was like, "Are you ready? Are you ready to go?" I was like, "He's always ready, born ready." So, yeah. Well, like, so what? When you started the social media, kind of putting it out there, what was your idea about what you're going to put out there?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. So coming into the workforce, you know, as a professional, I came straight out of college. And so funny thing is, coming out of college, I was actually a DJ and I was also a frat boy. So I had a lot of stuff on my Instagram that like was partying and kind of inappropriate. So I made a professional Instagram to, you know, and like my DJ name was Dirty Germs. So that was my original Instagram. And I was really self-conscious about people seeing that side of me. So I was posting stuff like, here's a sale, or here's, like the trend in the median price of homes on Oahu. I was posting it on, my professional Instagram, and no one cared about that because everyone is posting that. And what I discovered was that people care about you. They didn't care about Jeremy the realtor. They cared about Jeremy the person. And that's what I realized throughout the years was like, post personal stuff about your life, who you are, your habits, and then of course what you do, which is real estate. So I would start posting real estate stuff, but also I would post about my like real life because that was interesting to people, that got engagement, that got people to react. That's why I post about, Patriots, because why? Like, look who like replied in the comments, Seahawks, blah, blah, blah. So people either love it or people either hate it, but it starts a conversation. And that conversation, it's your job as the realtor to turn it into a real estate conversation. So before I would just post real estate and then no one really cared. Then I started, being comfortable of who I was or who I am. And, that's when people started saying, oh, wow, like I really know Jeremy, like as a person, not a realtor. And with real estate, it's all about connections, it's all about the people. And I think, I always hear real estate investors talking about, it's not the profit, it's the people. And that's 100%, if you can make a connection and, find a way to relate to someone, then of course they're going to want to deal with you. Because I feel like now more than ever, there's like thousands, so many real estate agents, but everyone knows there are like more than 5 real estate agents. But why will they choose you? What makes you different? It's your connection with them, and that's when I started to realize like, okay, this is what social media is. It's about being you and being who you are, and you will attract the people who like you. And you want those people, because if there's people who don't like you or who kind of don't really agree or vibe with you, of course you wouldn't want to work with them, so that's why with the real estate investor community, I put out who I am, and the people who, like that stuff, they gravitate towards me, and we create more than just business, more than doing deals. It's more so a friendship. It's more so a community.
And then what's nice is that the clients that call you and reach out to you are actually clients that you're going to like because they've been following you the whole time. They feel like you're their best friend. And so by the time you actually connect with them, you're just like, man, this is like a match made in heaven. We like the same stuff and we're kind of the same personality. And that's just because they followed you the whole time. And like you said, there's like 5 million realtors out there, but they're not really concerned with finding a realtor. They're trying to find somebody they connect with, somebody they trust, somebody that they like, and somebody that they don't mind talking with and emailing. And so that's where you do a great job on your social. Like I was checking out some of your videos and such, and you're just authentic. And you're caring, and people say, what's that old saying? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And your social media platform exudes caring and excitement and fun. And so who wouldn't want a realtor like that? Because there's plenty of realtors that are driving white Mercedes 4-doors and they're, not fun at all. And they've been in the industry for 100,000 years. And, that's not today. And so no offense to anybody who's on the call that describes by any means. I just got myself in trouble, but I don't think that
you guys got canceled.
I just totally but that's just not who we attract either though, right? But I wanted to ask you, Jeremy, because I think this is, as we dive in a little bit deeper, give us a little bit of the nuts and bolts. So some folks that are listening in are kind of like, okay, I'm intrigued. This is interesting. So why don't we have you just kind of dive in a little bit more in terms of like, what gives you the ideas on what you're filming? Who films? Is it you and your camera, or do you have a team that films? Who edits? How do you storyboard it? Are you the one who's physically posting? And just kind of give us behind the scenes of what goes on kind of in that social media world on a day-to-day basis.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I guess, what am I going to use for content? So of course, with Instagram, I really love the story feature because that's really like behind the scenes. It's really in the moment and it's very candid. And I feel like people watching that, they like that stuff. They like the behind the scenes stuff. They like the unfiltered, like as it goes. And then of course with posts, that's like very highlighted stuff and all that. So what I try to do is with my story is I like to post things that are very interesting. I kind of thought about it like when you're at a restaurant, you will always remember your experience if it was a really bad one or if it was a really great one. No one really remembers that it was whatever, you know? So with content, if I see something, like if I'm viewing a home and there's some like crazy orange carpet, I'm going to put that on my story because it's like, wow, like, of course, like people seeing that, like they'll be shocked. It will cause a reaction, it'll cause an engagement, you know? And then when I'm looking for homes to flip and it's like vacant or it's like super bust up, I'm going to put that on my story because it creates, I guess, emotion. It creates like someone to say, oh my gosh, or reply back to you. And you just never know who's watching it, because maybe they've been following you for a while and they just saw it now, but maybe let's say, oh, how come you're seeing this home? And I'll say, oh, I'm trying to flip homes. And then all of a sudden that conversation turns into, oh, wait, no way, because my aunt, my uncle, whatever, is trying to get rid of this home. So all of my content, it's good content to show people, start conversations. And then two, it's a funnel to lead into possible other opportunities. As far as like YouTube and filming and editing, that's just all 100% me. For that, I try to think of something every single day, like what would make a good video? Because with the YouTube, the way it works is you want to make at least an 8-minute video in order to put mid-roll ads within the video so you can get monetized more. But essentially, like, okay, what could I talk about that's educational, that will, you know, attract people's eyes? So it kind of goes into marketing and really understanding your audience. So that's what I try to do, or try to think of while I'm creating a video. And then of course there's the filming, there's the editing, and you know, that's just like, it's really hard. Like when I first started YouTube, it took me like 3 days to make a video, to film, edit, all of that. But you know, nothing is easy, nothing worth accomplishing is going to be easy. So I was like, okay, whatever, let's just do it. And sure enough, you know, as time goes on, I'm learning how to do it faster. Now it usually probably just takes me a day to film, or script, film, and edit, and then I'll have my video. But yeah, that's pretty much how I do it. What's up?
It takes you a day to script, film, edit one video of 8 minutes.
Yes.
So basically, if you're trying to post, how often are you trying to post?
Well, I had a goal to post 3 times a week, but you know, I can barely hang on to one because just with everything that's on my plate right now. But it's kind of hard because when you have to think of the content, then you have to write it out. I'm like, okay, does this make sense? Does this flow? You know, some people have bulletins. I can't really do that because I'm just going to end up rambling, and I feel like I would miss the important points. So I just write up a script, and then that's how I, you know, shoot my stuff. But that's for YouTube.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So equipment wise, you're just using your phone?
Oh, no. Like I have this like $1,000 EOS camera. It's like a basic vlogger camera that I bought on Amazon. But you know, I feel like I'm still starting. I'm still new into the whole YouTube game. Eventually I want to buy those, you know, big $5,000 cameras to make really crazy content, but I feel like I'm not there yet. But you know, just in time. But as far as like YouTube, or as far as Instagram, TikTok, you know, it's all with my phone. And you don't need to start with a camera. You just need a phone, and just think of really great content. Think of ways to educate people. Think of ways how to get engagement, and that's all you really need.
What takes the longest? Is it the filming, or the scripting, or the editing?
I would say it was the editing. Editing definitely takes the longest because you have to cut out everything, make sure everything's in sync, put the captions, and then the music and the, you know, transition. So definitely editing takes a lot of my time.
What I bet that industry is kind of booming, yeah, because there's a lot more content creators out there, and I feel media is shifting towards mainstream, like, you know, CNN, Fox, and they're all becoming, they all have channels on YouTube for one. And that's where I get all my news. Like, we don't have cable anymore. And I'm sure that's for a lot of people. So how much in demand are editors right now? And I'm guessing the price has gone up, right? Like the cost for a good editor.
Oh yeah, I'm actually considering hiring an editor, but you know, I'm pretty stubborn, and I kind of want to do things like all on my own, like just to say like, yeah, I do this all by myself. But now it's like, okay, how can I grow? I need to expand. I need to delegate, you know? So yeah, I'm pretty sure, especially right now, everyone's trying to do YouTube, hiring, you know, a video editor. They're definitely in demand right now.
Right. Yeah. And you're building smart though, right? Because like it's like a new venture, a new business. So if you're building it from the ground up, sometimes you have to bootstrap it, right? Like we have to bootstrap our company. And in a lot of ways we still are. And I guess what talking about teams, what about your real estate team? Do you have a team or is it just you?
Oh yeah, I do have a real estate team. They're actually on this call right now, Jay and Vince. So shout out to you guys for being here. But yeah, like, you know, they're like my best friends from high school, and they were seeing like how crazy the real estate market was. And during COVID, you know, like many people, they're like, all right, you know, now's the time to do something and see if I could take my life to the next level. And on the plus side for me, you know, last year when I sold 24 homes, that was just all on myself. I didn't have anyone. So I was like, okay, if I need to grow this YouTube thing, I need to delegate my real estate business to my team. So they got their license and they joined my team, and now we're ready to rock. And now I can delegate to them, you know, real estate agent stuff. And then now I can have more time at home to film more YouTube, put out more content, which eventually expands to getting more of, you know, reach more eyes on my channel to get more leads. So it's kind of like this endless cycle or system, if you want to call it.
Right. Yeah, no, I love it. And we for us, it's so funny because we tried to just do it on our own too. Like I was trying to just post on our social media page for a while, like deals that we're closing. And our vision is to feature investors and their projects, you know, like the deals that we close and the investors who are behind them, right? The problem we ran into, first of all, is time. You know, if we have to choose whether to post on social media or close a deal, like we got to close a deal or, you know, work through problems. But still, I feel social media is very important. I agree with you. And, you know, just mirroring what you said for Instagram, like we brought in millions of dollars of private capital through Instagram. That's a fact, you know. It is surprising to me, and then it just reminds me, it's like, you know, I got to put more content out there because we do so much cool stuff. And then we just never remember, or we'll film something or take pictures of something, and I just either don't have the time or energy to post, you know. So with that said, like, do you believe in social media managers, like hiring them and like outsourcing that? Like, do you think it's that important for a company or an individual, a sole proprietor, to hire a social media manager as one of their, you know, their guys on their team as an employee or 1099?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like once you get to a certain level, like you said, you need to delegate. You need to, you know, give that, I guess, responsibility to someone else so you can focus on the more important things. So eventually, I feel like I'm good at managing my social media, but I feel like eventually when I get to a certain level, I'm going to have to delegate. I'm going to have to hire someone to do this. You know, luckily for me, it just comes naturally. If I see something cool, I'm like, oh my God, let me pull out my phone, you know? So, but, you know, for people that like you guys have so much on their plate, you know, having someone to, you know, handle your social media, handle your, you know, content, I definitely would recommend, you know, hiring someone.
Yeah, I think we're definitely looking into that now. I think you just kind of pushed us all over the edge to go ahead and do that. But for me, my concern is that, especially like my personal page, you know, because I feel like I don't want to hire someone to just schedule posts and blast it out. And there's no real, because I feel the reason why you're so successful in, you know, with social media and you kind of just took right off is because people see the authenticity, like Kikoa said, that you're genuine. You're just being you, you know, you're fun, but you're putting out great content, you know, and so that's what I'm afraid of. Is like, are we going to lose that if we hire somebody? And if we don't hire somebody, are we going to, or if we do hire somebody, are we going to constantly be, because I already have this feeling, it's like, you know, let me write this for you, or let me like choose these photos for you, you know, like, I don't know if I'm ready to let go of that, because I don't want ever like our image online or to lose the soul of like who we are or who what we stand for, you know? So how, and I'm just trying to brainstorm to the group, like how would you guys recommend we still put something in place to get our social media up and running so that we can put the content out there and share all the cool stuff that we do and all the good that we do for, you know, our colleagues and the community, but without losing the, you know, the soul or the culture of what we're really trying to build?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I've always been thinking about that too. And I think I wouldn't do that right now for my level, but when I do, if I were to do it, I would probably, it's like getting bids. You just check out different, social media managers, have a sit down with them, and explain to them, okay, what is Kiko Capital? Or what is my brand? What am I trying to put out there? Like, who am I? I'd probably like spend maybe a day or a couple days with them, just hanging out, so they see who I am, what I do, and what I'm all about, and just have them study my Instagram. And once they get an idea, then maybe start slowly giving them responsibility. Like, hey, I need a post, boom, boom, boom. Maybe they create it, but give you a draft first. Like, hey, here's the photos, here's the caption. What do you think about that? And then you get the final say. And then after that, it's just, trial and error. It's like, oh, I like that. Or like, let's not do that. Let's do this. Or I say it like this. And once that, you guys start to gel, I feel like that would be a good way to do that.
I think that's a great idea. Like, I mean, that sounds so basic, but like it's fundamental. Just initially, there's probably gonna be a lot of back and forth between you and whoever's the managing it, right? And then eventually, hopefully, they'll learn like your tone, the tonality, and the type of message you're trying to put out there. So I think it's just like anything else in delegation, right? As you're growing and scaling, at some point you have to let go of the control, right? And be like, and just pray that nothing blows up. But okay, I get that. Same premise as delegating to a team or something, right? You got to give trust.
Yeah, so, slowly,
right.
Alexander has
in trying to find the person to do that for you. Look internally. Look to the people that are following you. People that like look up to you already and just say, hey, I'm looking for someone to help me out on some social media project, and try out a project with them or two, and then see if it works and grow.
That's a great idea too, because they're following us already for a reason, right? So they kind of already see what they hopefully like what we put out there. A great idea. Okay.
Hey, Alexander's he's so polite, he raised his hand, which we don't usually do. So.
What up, Alex?
Anytime, Alex.
Hey, what's up, guys? So I do recruiting, and exec search is my living for the cannabis industry. But one thing I've done for a lot of clients who've been wanting to get their branding and that sort of thing out there, it's one thing. Yeah, sure. I mean, you could hire a low level somebody who knows social media management or whatever for $15-20 an hour to kind of help out with the technical, like, hey, this is the post, I need it out there, but you're going to have to be building the assets for them and making sure that the voice and kind of the messaging is what you're looking for. But if you really want to take your time and focus on the actual content of building the company and the other aspects, because that's the whole point, to free up some space, you kind of have to trust the person that you're going to hire for that role to be more the brand manager, the person who's really going to be curating what videos to take, what pictures to use, kind of what the voice and the brand and the messaging and the outside view of what your company is. So I wouldn't really just try to hire somebody who's going to be making the post and putting the digital assets together and putting that. Sure, that's a part of it, but somebody who's taking it to the next level and like really gets of what the vision of the company is, what kind of target audience that you're really trying to secure, and like what the schedule is going to be looking like, and just really kind of coming up with that content and coming up with you guys, and more so not taking the direction of like, hey, this is the post I want to do. They're going to be making those pitches to you, and you can kind of sign off like, yeah, that's what we're going to be. This is what the face of our company is going to be looking like. That's what I'd recommend.
Thanks, Alexander. And how much do you know, like roughly, about how much someone like that is looking to get paid?
It really depends on which market. I mean, if you're looking for a brand manager, honestly, you could sign somebody who's maybe had like 4 years of experience. I wouldn't go anything less than maybe 55, 60. Like if you get somebody like that's like the cheapest level I could see. I mean, I don't think you need to pay anything more than 75 a year. I think 55 to 75. I think you can get somebody who really, has enough kind of knowledge about how to build a band. And you want to have somebody who has good experience. So somebody at that level should have some portfolios. They should be able to see like, yeah, this is an Instagram I got from, 0 subscribers to, 10,000 followers. You can see the portfolio and stuff there. So,
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what my gut would
No, I
say.
appreciate it, man. Do you what did you say you do?
So I recruit for the cannabis industry, of all things, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You're a headhunter.
Hey, shout out to Alex. So Alex is actually my pledge bro when I joined a fraternity at UC Irvine. Thanks for coming, bro.
Oh, nice.
But one thing he did say I really like, he referred to social media as digital assets, not like crypto or anything, but that is so on point because an asset is, it makes you money. So if my Instagram page, if my YouTube channel is making me money, it's the source of my deals, it's an asset. So treat social media like an asset, like it's your business, because it really is.
Yeah, I love that.
Hey, Jeremy, I want to ask you, since there's a lot of people here that probably are like, hey, this sounds great. I don't have 55,000 yet to hire a full-time person. If you were to say to somebody who's kind of newer to real estate investing and they're just getting some inspiration from what we talked about today, if you were to give them 3 things to do this week or next week to get started in their social media vision and plan, what would you say those top 3 things would be?
Well, that's a good question. So like I tell my team who's like new in real estate, as agents, you can do the same things with real estate investing. Is 1, get on social media and add as many people as you can, network with other investors, follow people or influencers who are doing what you want to do, and just go through their whole page, their whole channel, and see what they're doing. Second, I would, make a post. I want you to let the world know that you are a new real estate investor and this is what you're trying to accomplish. I always hear the term, be quiet with your goals, move in silence. I'm totally against that. I believe being loud with your goals, because when you put it out into the universe, 1, you're not you're not, asking the universe, hey, this is what I want to do. You're telling the universe, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And when you're loud with your goals, people who align with that, people agree with that, they'll gravitate to you, and maybe they'll help you, or maybe they'll educate you, or, maybe they'll give you like their 2 cents, but you're letting the world know what you're trying to accomplish. And you never know, you might get a lead like that. That's how I got my lead. And then 3 is whatever you're doing, like say you're driving for dollars, or you're cold calling, or maybe you're just like going around the neighborhood, checking around neighborhoods, document it all and then put it on there and say, hey, what's up guys? So this is my first time driving for dollars. I have no idea what I'm doing, but let's go. Yesterday I got a lead about this abandoned house in Kalihi, and I was like, okay, let's check it out. And sure enough, I had my phone in my hand, jumping over the fence with my friend and looking through the house. And, that makes good content, and it's funny, and, it causes a reaction, causes engagement. And also it just lets the world, hey, like Jeremy's serious about this stuff. Like he's out in the field, like he's sneaking into abandoned houses, trying to, find a home to flip. So you show, because there's a lot of people who say they're going to do something, but there's people who, of course, they don't do anything about it. So if you show people that you're putting in the work, that you're out in the field doing what you're supposed to be doing, that kind of gives you credibility as well. And it might get you like some respect of, veteran real estate investors, like, holy crap, like this guy's crazy, but, mad respect to them for like going hard. And that kind of puts your name out there. I mean, I just started in January, and never would I thought I'd be on Coffee Talk, this early in my career. So again, thank you guys for having me.
Well, yeah, and Jeremy, like what I really love about you is that like you're not afraid to say that you're new, right? Like you just started in January. You're not afraid to say what like anything that normal people may be afraid to put out there if they're trying to protect their image, But I think social media gravitates towards people who are real, right? I feel, and I really love that you do that. And I guess you reminded me, I think, because I agree with what you say, that just shout your goals as loud as you can, because for one, it's like it holds you accountable, because if you put it out there, now it's like you really gotta get it done. Otherwise, like you're just a walking mouth, Oh, yeah. So I like that. And when you put it out there, things gravitate towards you, right? That's why we have the needs, leads, and good deeds segment. It's just because like if you need something, speak up and say it, because there's someone in this room who can help you, and nobody will know if you don't put it out there, right? And it takes courage sometimes to put yourself out there, and that's why when we talked about earlier, it's like if you think social media is toxic, it's because you're probably following toxic people, you know, and like you gotta scrub that. And then the people who you do want to be surrounded by, if you put yourself out there, then the ones that kind of sneak through, they will reveal themselves very quickly. They'll be the confrontational, I want my voice heard, let me comment on Jeremy's little post here and be negative. And then you can just take them out. You can scrub them one by one. But if you have the right sphere, and we're in control of our own circles, right? So we control our culture here on Coffee Talk as much as we can, where we keep the culture the way we want it to be. And you can do the same thing with social media to a point where the people following you initially, they wouldn't judge you if you're trying to try something new and you fail. And then, that because you're cultivating your own circle. So the new people coming in that start following you and your content, you don't necessarily have to worry too much about that, because they're following you for a reason. Like they gravitate towards you. So I love that tip. And I think like social media is a big part of business now, because especially real estate, because very relationship heavy business and industry. So it's very important. But I also want to leave some time for us to go over your project that you just went in, and like what have you learned? First of all, how'd you find the deal? How you funded it? And then what's the exit strategy? All the basic stuff, and any issues or things that you've learned already so far, and things that you need help with.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, if we backtrack it, the way I found it again was through social media. I was putting on my story like, hey, I am a real estate investor. I am an all cash buyer. I'm looking for a home to flip. Just kept posting that on my story, multiple times a week. And then someone messaged me saying, hey, my aunt is trying to sell a home. It's vacant. They've been in escrow for almost a year. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? So I got the aunt's number. She gave me the realtor's number, and I was talking with him. Apparently it's, so much termite damage. It's in Makakilo. And I thought, whoa, this could be a great deal. And I asked the agent, he was kind of a new agent, and I asked, oh, how much are you in escrow for? And he shouldn't have told me, but he did tell me. And he was like, oh, 540. So in my head, I'm like, okay, sweet. There's no way I'm buying this for more than 540. And I'm like thinking, okay, this is on a 6,000 square foot lot in Makakilo. The market's hot right now, barely inventory. I knew this was a good deal. It was crazy. Like when I met with you guys who are funding it, I remember you telling me, oh yeah, we do 75% LTV, or sometimes 100% LTV, depending if it's a good deal. And of course, I'm going, oh, okay, I'm nodding. All right, cool. I go home like, what the hell is a good deal, So I found this deal. I'm like, okay.
LTV and what's B? It's like there's so many letters, right?
So I'm like, okay, cool. So I could get it for 540. And I could put, I looked at the ARV, and what's cool is because I'm a real estate agent, I have so much experience. I know I can calculate ARV like that. Just look at the comps. And I was like, okay, I think I could get this for 725, do all the crunching the numbers. Okay, cool. I think I could do this. So sure enough, I submitted an offer, they accepted, and, we got it under contract. Then I brought it to you guys. I'm like, okay, cool. So I brought a good deal. What do I do now? And then you guys are like, all right, you're going to need 25% down. And I'm like, awesome. And then in my head, I'm like, I do not have 25% down. So 25% of that purchase was like, probably 155,000 with closing costs. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is a great deal, but I sure as hell do not want to let go of it, because, this could be my first deal. And so my mentality is like, I'm in this deep. I didn't get this far just to get this far. So I was like, okay, let me call up my friends. So I called up my best friend. He's an engineer. And I called up my financial advisor. He's, he handles my money. And I'm like, yo, you guys want to be in on this flip? And it was cool. Is like, they're all kind of like my same age. We're, really good friends. We do business together. We party together. So I trust these guys. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. So we split everything equally. And then they got in on it. We funded the deal. We closed, and then cool. Getting bids. So if we backtrack, I renovated my condo and I kind of got screwed over. Long story short, I kind of wasted $30,000. So that kind of gave me that burn. I was like, okay, if I'm going to flip homes, I need to be very, very 100% sure I don't make that mistake again. So I was like, okay, so instead of getting 3 bids, I got 6 bids, and all of them were like saying $100,000. But my partner's uncle is a GC, and he said, we can do this for $70,000 to $80,000, but we're only gonna work on the weekends, which would delay the timeline, maybe like a month and a half. And I'm like calculating the interest. I'm like, okay, we could either save $30,000, or we could save $30,000 but we have to spend an extra 1 to 2 months on interest. And I calculated in my mind, I'm like, okay, it would make sense to just take the discount and extend the project a little longer. So that was kind of our mindset with going with this contractor, because I'd rather pay, $30,000 less and delay the project, So as I'm learning this, I'm like, okay, so this is what we have to do. I'm like going through the whole draw thing, and I'm like, okay, this is going smoothly. And surprisingly, literally everything with the construction is going according to plan. And now I'm starting to get a little paranoid, because it's like, no way, this is like too perfect, But side note is, because the market is so hot now, like maybe 2-3 times a week, I'll check the MLS to see, what listings are going on the market, which would be my competition, and also what is closing. And man, I'm like finding comps that are selling for like way higher. So originally I thought I could sell this for $725. Now I found a perfect comp at $765. And we all know that when you put something on the market, it will get multiple offers over asking. So it's kind of like a perfect storm right now, a really good time. Like, I don't know, maybe it's luck for my first flip. I don't know, but they say that luck is preparation meets opportunity. So I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much everything going on with my flip right now.
Nice. So everybody can follow the Jeremy and his progress through that project. And I give you a lot of props, man, because like it's scary sometimes to jump into your first flip. Now, granted, you've had years of experience as a realtor, so the numbers don't really scare you, right? But sometimes when you're signing on the line for a full recourse, personally guaranteed mortgage on a house that's like usually not that great, right? So it's a big risk, and you see that number down there, and like that does have to get paid back. Sometimes people get frozen. I know it spooked me a little bit sometimes, right? But I when you said that you left and you kind of went home, like, oh, you're just nodding along to say like, yeah, okay, I understand, and had to go figure it out later. I can identify with that, because when I started, I was the guy in the back of the room, closest to the exit, didn't want to be seen or called on to speak, and I didn't want to raise my hand to ask questions, but I didn't know terms, right? I didn't understand, like I hear like short sale and wholesale, and I didn't even know what a mortgage was, at the time. So I would just write down on a piece of paper all the words and terms I didn't recognize or understand, and go home and Google it and try to piece it together and be like, oh, that's what that means, So that's like the introvert way of to success, I guess. But
he does that, to be honest. He goes back to his room and tries to figure out terms.
Oh yeah, totally.
We all these days. Hey, Jeremy, just real quick, you mentioned something about a couple buddies jumping in, which is always super cool. Because I think a big part of what we love to do in real estate is partnering with folks and doing deals with friends and family. So when you put that together, just for those of us who are brand new, say, and have never done that, and you basically use some OPM, other people's money, or you Google that, it's OPM, other people's money. And so when you do something like that with your friends, did you do a TIC, tenants in common? Did you do a LLC with an operating agreement? Did you guys just shake hands because you trust each other so much? Like, how did you put that together?
Oh yeah, so it was very, like, of course it was bootleg. Originally, I just wanted to do it myself, but they said, oh, okay, you need this much as a down payment. I didn't have it. So I'm already into escrow as an LLC. And so they came in, of course, we had the discussion, okay, we got to be on the LLC. However, we're on a crunch time, like I think 3-week close, or I think we're halfway through the 3-week close. And escrow said, okay, if you're going to add them to the LLC, you're going to have to edit all the documents, you know, the articles, all of that. And she recommended like we just keep it as is to make everything go smoothly. So I told the guys like, hey, like this is what's going on. I mean, we're buddies, right? So originally, my best friend Fro, he was down. My other friend Alex, he kind of wanted, you know, some security. So I said, okay, what could we do? So we're doing a promissory note. And it was so funny because we drafted it. We went on rocketlawyer.com. We made it. And then he had his attorney friend look it over. And he's like, okay, this is it. You know, this is a piece of paper you sign and you're going to give me the money. But Justin was telling me there cannot be a second position. So you can do whatever you want, but after we close. And I was explaining that to Alex and he was like, I don't know. So we just did it. We had the document. I'm like, okay, we're going to sign this. And what's funny is we never ended up signing it. So we're all on handshake agreement right now.
Well, it's out there for everybody to see. So right now, so there's your security, Alex.
That's awesome, Jeremy. That's so cool. And I think that that's a great lesson for a lot of us is that when you got a deal, the money will come, right? And then you have resources next to you. You got people, you got friends, you got buddies. So that's exciting and congratulations on that. My one guidance would be, and I think Corey and I feel the same way, and Corey and I started our company really as a handshake and we resolve our issues just basically junking a po or just nice solid jujitsu round. But we started a thing where we said, because we're friends, we're going to do everything in writing. And so just as a good practice for most of us, sometimes we, and you're going to probably get there eventually, you'll just be like, yeah, we got to put this in writing because eventually the taxation needs to take place and escrow's got to do all that. But just good for all of us that are in the room that when you're doing a partnership or any type of an agreement, it's always good to put it in writing because it's easy to misinterpret and misunderstand because we hear certain things and then we go away thinking, well, I think Corey told me I would get 80%. But then what he meant was I'd get 20% and he'd get 80%. And then at the end, we're like, frick, what happened here? And then, you know, things erode. So, but yeah, that'd be my only little just kind of suggestion. But that's just so minor compared to the fact that I love the fact that you are a ready, fire, aim kind of guy. You're like, I got the deal. I got some friends. I got some money. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we're going to make it happen.
Exactly.
And honestly, that's the best way to go. Corey and I have always believed in that. It's always a really, really cool opportunity to do analysis, but not to get the paralysis. And that's hard. And
oh yeah.
Yeah, we're just super excited for where you're going. And we're hoping that you're going to ask us to partner with you on a deal sometime.
Oh, wow. Okay, hell yeah. Let's do it.
The lead, man. Let's do it. Then we can all do social media together.
Can I make some comments about Jeremy, you guys? This guy, give it up for this guy, man. No, seriously though. Number one, when I met Jeremy through Stacy, it was through social media, as he mentioned. And what I loved about the kid, I say kid because I'm much older than him, but he was just like a learner. He was just asking me all these questions. And I say this often now that you can tell how, if people are going to take action by the questions that they're asking, right? And so just credit to him for that. And then also just, he's a master networker. And I like how during the story he was saying he was like making adjustments, but he was paying attention to the numbers and saying, hey, this is not working, this is working. I think that's just such an important point to highlight because sometimes we're just in the game and we're not paying attention to the score, and you need to be constantly doing that. Another thing is that he said was kind of like the starting the conversations. You're just putting stuff out there that continually because you're engaging with your, with your followers, your people, and it doesn't really matter if it's like 20 people that you're following that are following you or it's 200. You want quality. You want people that you're going to actually interact with. So I think that's an important point. Another thing is that, like, for some of us that are extroverted, such as Jeremy, I'm extroverted, social media is a little bit a better fit, right? Because of our personality. But rehab is not a good fit for me because I don't like it, but I still have to learn it because it's part of the business. So don't use that as an excuse because there are things that you're going to need to learn, and maybe you're not going to be using that constantly. Maybe that's something you could eventually delegate, but you do need to be confident because it's not going away. So when I hear people say that, hey, I'm not just social media is not for me, like it's because you're just making an excuse. You can find a way to learn it and implement in your business. And one point that I want to make on the customer avatar, if you make custom cabinets, then you have a certain customer avatar, people that usually buy your custom cabinets. So you need to be posting for your customer avatars. For myself, my avatar is somebody that's newer in the business that maybe wants to learn and maybe potentially partner up with me or maybe, send me a deal. So my posts are revolved around that core person, not my friends from high school, not my other people. Yeah, it's great that they're following me. And I'm talking particularly about Instagram, because with Instagram, the demographics are a little bit younger than Facebook. So, as they say in marketing, like the medium is the message. So medium for Instagram is going to be a little bit younger demographics. Again, this is stuff that we could all study, and begin to use it. I've made $275,000 on 3 properties in the last 2 years from Instagram with no marketing spend. So it makes money, it's profitable, but it might not be, you might not be that person, it's for you, but get somebody on your team because it's not going away, guys. So I think that was just a couple points I want to make. And just Jeremy, again, bro, I just love it. Oh, and then I called Jeremy yesterday because I got this lead by Punch Bowl or some creator around that area. And then at the end of the conversation, like, you want to partner on the deal? You want to partner on the like, bro, I just need to know the ARV, but thank you, bro. I appreciate it. But
Hey, I got you that ARV super fast, huh?
Yeah, he was on it. So it's just you just don't know who you're gonna meet through this social media. I wouldn't even be living in Hawaii. I wouldn't even be here like without having that presence online and whatnot. And as it expands, you guys, it just compounds. I wouldn't know Brandon Turner. I wouldn't know all these rock star people if I wasn't constantly about there. But it's a skill, it's work. When I document the journey, it's still work. Just because it feels like it might not be work because you're posting something, if you're purposeful about it, it can get real tangible results on your business. But again, shout out Jeremy. Love you, brother. I love to see all your stuff, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
That's awesome, Alex. I agree with a lot of all of that. Like, just because like if you're an introvert, like maybe you don't do YouTube, but maybe you focus on Instagram or Facebook, and you communicate your message and build that relationship with your following through photos and text, and copyright, So just like Alex said, it's just because that's not your strength or you think like that's not necessary. I think you should you should think about it, because I think that is where this world is going. And I mean, look at all of us on this call, like this is pretty much a social media platform as well. So, and it's very powerful. It's brought us together, people from all over the nation, and Nadal over there in in the Middle East. So like I believe in it. And one thing too is and I'm going to say this to hold ourselves accountable to all of you is, recently, we've been looking to identify another market to go in and service other investors and do loans for. So we have to really strip it down and start from square one. We have no resources, no network. How do we go into a market and capture market share, right? First is identifying the market, right? And since Dallas is, it could be high dollar, high volume, non-judicial state, it kind of piqued our interest, and we are going there anyways. So we set a goal to basically find out who are the players in the Dallas area, and build a relationship with them online, and invite them to a meeting while we're there. Okay, so we have about a week and a half maybe till we're there. And so the medium that we chose to focus on is social media, so we'll be in on Instagram and Facebook and Bigger Pockets and all the different platforms, finding out, okay, who's in the conversation, whose name do we see come up, many times, and then look through their profiles, maybe send them a message and get on a phone call or something. Like that's our strategy, and we're going to see how it works. And we do know how to, kick the doors down in any market. The formula is the same. You have to embed in the market. You have to find out who the players are, and then find out what kind of value you can give them. So that's our mission, that kind of piggybacks off of, the power of social media that we're talking about today. And just want to put it out there as well to hold us accountable, because we have, every day that goes by, we're kind of getting closer and closer. So we're looking. And if anybody does know, people out in Dallas that are, developers or real estate investors like ourselves, please let us know, and wish us luck in our ventures into a new market.
That's awesome.
And Jeremy, I echo, what Alex said. Thank you so much. You're a really genuine, good dude. And I love your content because it's honest, and it's real and it's fun, right? So thanks again. And thanks, Mom, for jumping on too. What a true mom, right? Come on and support.
Mom and his whole fraternity. That's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
That shows you're a good guy. But yeah, thanks so much. Jeremy, thanks for also posting the YouTube channel on there. So for everybody who wants to check him out, show Jeremy some love, follow him. And then Jeremy, if folks want to just kind of ask you questions, what's the best way to do that? Just do it through the social media, or do you have an email address that we can reach out to?
Oh yeah, you can, follow me on Instagram. You can message me there. That'll be the best way to, if you have any questions at all, any advice, I'm an open book. I honestly believe in everything that I've learned. I want to pass it on too, because that's how I learned my information that I know now. So yeah, anyone, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram.
That's awesome. All right, on. This is fantastic.
Thanks, brother. Really appreciate it, man.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Everybody to be doing YouTube channels now. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right on, guys. Well, thanks again, everybody, for jumping on this Friday. And we'll hang around as usual for a little bit longer if you want to stick around. But other than that, everyone have a great weekend. Be safe, have fun, be with the fam, friends, and we'll see you next week. Aloha.
Good one.
Bye, guys.
Oh, yeah. Happy May. May starts tomorrow. Woohoo!
Yeah, it's going to be May.
Dirty germs.
What up?
Corey.
Dirty germs. That is fantastic. I'd love to hear some stories one day over a beer on how you exactly got that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, his name's Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the dirty part and the dirty, like there's more to it than just that.
I'll get dirty.
Oh, yeah. Well, basically, I got dirty. Well, I would always, like, my genre of EDM and, like, playing was always, these beats that make everyone, their face go like, oh, yeah, like that. So kind of like dirty beats. And it's just like a type of genre is like, there's house and there's like the dancing. And then mine was just like, filthy, like in your face, like, wow, kind of like my personality,
I saw that story the other day.
So yeah, I kind of just stuck around, and I post like pictures here and there from like the past, but yeah, that was something that I was really into. I was like playing at clubs. I was opening for big DJs at raves. I probably played in front of like 3,000 people at my biggest performance. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
You'll be at Rolling Loud, right? No.
No, but that's the thing. Like I always went to like festivals like Coachella, EDC, Hard Summer, all those crazy stuffs. And that was really fun. Like music is a really big part of my life too. And, that eventually like, I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. But, I need to like do something more. And I had my real estate license and then that took off. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to put this on the side for now.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Maybe we got to come to you for a jingle.
Anytime.
It's going to be a dirty jingle, though, if we get it. Watch out.
Intro to the website.
I love it.
Hey, Corey, there's a networking group in Dallas called Lifestyles Unlimited. I don't know if you've heard of them or reached out to them, but I was a part of that group for a little bit when I was in Dallas, and they're huge on real estate. They do syndications and everything. And so, yeah, that may be a nice lead for you guys to look into the Dallas market. They're called Lifestyles Unlimited.
Lifestyles Unlimited.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Siobhan. That's a Facebook group?
It was a networking group. I've never been on their Facebook. I've only been to their website. So they have one out in Dallas, and they also have a group out in San Antonio as well.
Okay. Yeah, I know some guys in San Antonio. Oh, yeah, thanks. I'll look into that. I wonder if so we're searching Facebook. I don't know. Mr. Alexander, how we doing? We got some guys already? Alex?
Are you looking for guys who do fix and flip mostly, or is it who's your target audience?
Fix and flip investors, ground up construction developers, or buy and hold investors.
Okay. So I'll connect you with a guy named John Montero. He's pretty good. He's in Dallas. He has a lot of people, but there's some of these like social media personalities. There's a guy named Donovan Ruffin. You should look him up. He does an event every month, and it's a free event. It's called The Event, and actually people come to it from all over like Texas and like all over the country. And he does like he does rehabs at volume, like probably a few $1 million a month. And I think he's probably doing some new construction. There's others. I mean, there's actually a lot of like large like rehabbers and new construction guys. But yeah, I'll connect you with John Montero. He should be pretty
that'd
good.
be sweet. Yeah, thanks.
I think he used to live in Hawaii, by the way. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
In the past, like over 10 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, any help would be great. And we don't know if Dallas will be the long term. Like, yes, this market we're definitely gonna, but we're also testing the strategy. You know, utilizing like, you know, the digital platforms, because normally we would just have to fly over there and go to all the meetups, the local meetups, find out who's there, and just meet people face to face. But now it's kind of hard, you know. So what we do, like what we're doing now, is changing up a little bit and utilizing social media and reaching out through there.
Have you looked at Phoenix? Have you guys looked at Phoenix?
No, we haven't looked at Phoenix.
Yeah.
I know Phoenix is very competitive as well, and a lot of investors there, right?
Because Phoenix is well known, at least on social media, for the guys who do this stuff being like a close knit group. So the guys who started Batch Leads are out of Phoenix, and then you know, Real Estate Disruptors, Steve Trank, I think that's his name. So all these guys, like at least in Phoenix, like they're all like a close knit. They all know each other. So I think if you're able to, that's the market you're interested in, I guess by knowing or getting to know one of them, you'd have access to probably a lot of them. Just another idea.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Nadal. I'll definitely check in with that group, Donovan Ruffin's group. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is everyone else's thoughts on social media? Like, how has anyone ever want to talk about their successes or their struggles having to utilize that for business?
I will say that before, I used to be super self-conscious about posting like multiple times a day. Like, I just had this stupid rule, like you should only post once a day. If you post more than that, then you're annoying, you know? And then I really got into Gary Vaynerchuk's like mindset and theory, and his mindset is like content. Like, who cares if you're posting multiple times a day? Because everyone, all your followers, they're not looking at your page just that one time you post. They might catch you at different times, or, you know, people are at different time zones. So if you're posting multiple times a day, maybe you post the same thing, you know, a different video, but same topic another time, like maybe a month later, maybe a new person following you sees that for the first time. So, and then that maybe them seeing that, you know, inspires them, motivates them. So now I'm just like, you know, screw it. Like, I'm going to post multiple times a day, as much as I want. If it's meaningful, if it motivates, and if it inspires, if it has to do with real estate, then I'm going to post it, you know?
Yeah.
Kurt, can I add something? Hey guys.
Hey, Kurt.
Great job, Jeremy. He's awesome in videos. You guys got to think about this. You got to change your mindset. If you could send out 10,000 business cards to everybody, you would, right?
Right.
Just remember, when you post anything on social media, that is your digital business card.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to keep that. You got to remember that, because I work in title and I work with agents, and I post and say, Kurt, why do you post a lot? Because when someone's writing a contract or they need help with marketing, they see my post. I go, I'll call Kurt. You see what I'm trying to get at? So when you're posting things, don't overthink it. Nobody really cares unless you're posting something really dumb. Just if you If you want to post them, you have a favorite athlete, actor, actress, whatever, who you follow. Some of them have quotes. Why don't you copy and paste it and post it? Very simple. It's just simple things you can do. Don't overthink it. Don't be afraid. And the way things, and Jeremy can contest to this, I'm telling you right now, it's all videos, 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 and videos. Just like real estate, location, location. It's all video. It's videos and videos and videos. That's how it is going right now. Because you know why? And Corey, you have a wonderful voice. They want to hear your voice. They don't want to see your face. They want to hear your voice, see your face. Because they want to know how you talk. If you talk like, you think they want to work with you? But if you talk, just a natural way, they're like, that's a cool voice. Just more on that. So I would just start wherever you can. If you don't want to do videos yet, just post quotes. Take a picture of a flower or diamond head or sunset. It doesn't matter as long as you're. Remember now, this is your digital business card. But that's it. Thank you, Corey.
Yeah, well, I like the point that the digital business card, because you're right. Like, and you never know nowadays what will kind of take off, and people will share and like and comment and stuff. So like everything that you put out there has a chance to reach a lot of people. And I think Jeremy's point too, like putting content out there with intention. Like, what is the intent behind this post? And of course, and then if you're mixing it with personal stuff, like, I think that's okay too, because people want to see your, who you are, really. And we all wear many faces, right? Professional and business. And I think anyone smart enough to see through the difference, they'll love it. And the people who are only there for business, and you post one personal thing of your kid or something, and they're like, and then they bounce. Like, you don't want them anyways. So what? Like, you're gonna stare at pictures of my kid. God damn it! If you want the real estate content, you look at my family. You're gonna smile. No, but I think it is true. There's a balance, and being intentional is important.
And the thing is, I've always learned that Instagram gets to eat first before I do.
Oh yeah.
Right?
What's your Instagram, Kurt?
I mean, just go. It's just Kurt Johnson FNF, so you can follow me on that. I've done like simple reels, and I got like so many people watching it. Reels is fantastic, just on there too. And then, so if you like, we all love food, take pictures of food and tag people. You can do that too, because like I said, Instagram gets to eat first before I do, because we take pictures all over the place. But Reels, right? I mean, it's true, right? And so try Reels. I mean, I post simple things. I get like 800 people looking at it. I have no idea. And then you get people following you on there too. So
yeah, nice. Well, thanks, Kurt, and thanks for kind of being on standby for the last one. For helping us with title. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Corey, if you want someone for the DST or 1031 exchange, let me know. I can get someone to do a presentation.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Do I have your contact, Kurt?
I can put it on the chat.
Oh yeah. Can you?
Mm-hmm.
I think I already do from last time, but that'd be great. All right, guys. Well, it's almost noon, so everybody have a great weekend. Thanks again, Jeremy. Appreciate it.
Thanks again, Corey. Hey, I just found this Dallas investor. I just texted you their Instagram. I just hit up my Dallas realtor friend, and she pointed me to this guy, so I just passed it on to you.
Oh, dude, thank you. Appreciate it. Oh man, thanks,
That's
guys.
a legend.
Right on.
Appreciate you, Jeremy.
Hey, thank you,
Hi,
Justin.
brother, man.
Have a fantastic weekend.
Bye,
See you guys. Aloha.